Let's provide a little bit of historical context for all of this. A sell-off like this does not happen very often. Look back at similar four-day routes in the Dow show they are usually tied to an event, usually a very specific event. In 1998, it was the collapse of the massive hedge fund long-term capital and the Russian financial crisis. The Dow then lost 1,063 points, or 12%. Then in 2001, the September 11th attacks resulted in a 1,200-point drop. Also, a 12% drop then. Then, the big one, 2008, the financial crisis led to a four-day decline in the Dow of more than 1,500 points. And today, it is the coronavirus and a four-day loss now of more than 3,200 or 11%.
Really was that was a big one for some people. But the big one was 1987, and it wasn't really precipitated by any specific event other than portfolio insurance combined with this vortex of future selling, and 22% in a day. 22% in a day.
But I want to make a point about all of these. In virtually every instance, there was a firewall. And what I mean by a firewall was there was some kind of action that was taken to end the rout. The Fed announced different plans. Treasury, in the case of 2008, announced different plans. Back during long-term capital, plans were made. There were things that there was a piece of news which seemed to provide some semblance of confidence back into the market. And so the question in this instance is, what could that piece of news be? Or do we continue to go south until that piece of news emerges? We're on a Friday. The real question is, are people going to walk into this weekend wanting to hold on to stock?
Because there could be 1,000 cases.
Because who knows what's going to happen over the weekend? And I don't want to alarm people.
Is going to be worse this weekend.
But I've already gone past that, and I've decided that this market has discounted a lot already. That's what I'm saying.
I'm with you.
Even on a Friday, we are now. I mean, we're looking at the possibility of having a negative GDP near term, not sometime in 2020, and in China, maybe a flat, like a zero. Or something.
I feel as if
do you really think that's going to happen?
Look, I can give you lots of optimistic pieces.
Right. This is what was
mild symptoms.
Mild symptoms. I read that and was like, that should be good. Now, I know it's spreading it more.
That's the problem is, like, if you have something that has very severe symptoms,
right,
it burns itself out because it kills the host before it gets
the other. You could say Walmart.
But it's still the mortality rate that we're looking at. We're not looking at, with MERS, you had a 35% mortality rate. With SARS, you had a 10%
Ebola.
mortality. Ebola's at 90% mortality rate.
Yeah, but
I feel like this market is pricing in.
Look, I agree. I put some money into the S&P 500 yesterday because I thought, okay, this is a big sell-off. But I also think, what happens if you start to see school closures? I mean, it's the human reaction.
But don't you think I think the market already reflects that.
You know you're going to see school closures, because if schools don't close, they're going to be on the line. So the whole protocol is you have to have a protocol.
So you tell me, there are notes going out to corporations all over America saying non-essential international travel, ixnay. Non-essential domestic travel, no good. I mean, so then the question is, when does that kind of news roll off?
Well, you got to wait till you hear from the health officials.
When you brought up long-term capital, it's like a hedge fund goes belly up. We're talking about a global pandemic. I mean, it seems so much worse, and there is no magic bullet. I mean, I could envision some type of vaccine, some kind of vaccine, some kind of therapeutic. But I'm trying to look at
lowering rates is not going to do it.
Probably not. We'll have Kevin Warsh on today for 2 hours to talk about the op-ed that he wrote, which is great to have him today. But here's one more thing. Just let me make one more point. By definition, if you go 12% from the highs in the quickest time ever, the market is discounting something really quickly. And also, I'm not looking for silver linings, although I think we shouldn't be all gloom and doom necessarily. But short, sharp corrections typically are ones that are eventually settled by regaining a lot.